Did you say? Yeah, sure. Thank you. All right. It is 6:30. We will call the June council meeting to order at this time. Welcome to everyone in attendance, those watching at home, to the council. At this time, we will have the clerk call the roll.
Bolt. Here. Vanderkin.
Here.
Kotarabic. Here. Bry.
Here.
Reckelberg.
Here.
Sikowitz.
Here.
Beeman.
Here.
Schley.
Here.
Cummings.
Here.
Sakala.
Here.
All present.
All right, thank you. This month we have something special to start out our Pledge of Allegiance. We have individuals from the congregation at Open Bible Baptist Church, younger individuals who are going to come on up here and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So I believe it's all ladies. Come on up. And why don't you come right up here so we can start the pledge. If we could do that, we will do the pledge first, and then if everyone could remain standing after the pledge for a prayer by our council president, Steve Sakala. So, ladies, if you want to give us a second all to stand, you're more than welcome to start the pledge for us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Nope. Right.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave truth to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, ladies. Everyone could remain standing for a prayer by our council president.
Father, thank you for the dairy farmer. We are so blessed to have men and women willing to put the time and toil it takes to produce our dairy products. Thank you for blessing their efforts to produce healthy foods that provide our nourishment and enjoyment. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you all, and thank you again to the ladies of Open Bible Baptist Church for that wonderful edition of the Star Spangled Banner. We usually don't do that, so that was wonderful. Thank you very much. All right, we will move on to presentations. We have one presentation this evening for badge pinnings for various Manitowoc Fire and Rescue Department employees. Tonight, we are going to be swearing in and badge pinning for Assistant Fire Chief Jason Russ, Lieutenant Jason Sweeney, Lieutenant Dan LeCue, Motor Pump Operator Roger Whiteside, and Firefighter Tyler Fisher. So we're going to take these in order. So if the families would like to come up with the individuals to get pictures and to be sworn in, we will. And if there's any other firefighter paramedics here who would like to come up who aren't getting sworn in to support each one, you're more than welcome to come on up and stand along the dais. But we will start with Assistant Fire Chief Jason Russ and move to Lieutenant Jason Sweeney, Lieutenant Dan LeCue, Motor Pump Operator Roger Whiteside, and Firefighter Tyler Fisher. And again, families, you are more than welcome to come up during this portion. And hold on. Why did I have
Let the record show,
For the
please.
record. My microphone isn't on though, so no one at home heard that. All right, I just want to get it so we're nice and close. All right, is their microphone on?
Yes.
All right, go.
Okay. If you please raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Jason Russ,
I, Jason Russ,
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Assistant Fire Chief
of Assistant Fire Chief
for the City of Manitowoc
for the City of Manitowoc
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Signature just on that top one.
Come on, I think we're gonna do the badge over here, so we can get some nice pictures for them. Make sure it just goes to the jacket.
Well, hello, Sweeney family.
We're all
Are you
here.
ready?
We are all here.
If you please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jason Sweeney,
I, Jason Sweeney,
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Fire Lieutenant for the City of Manitowoc
of Fire Lieutenant for the City of Manitowoc
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Are you ready? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Daniel Aqui,
I, Daniel Lequi,
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
solemnly swear I will support the Constitution of the United States
Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Fire Lieutenant for the City of Manitowoc
of Fire Lieutenant for the City of Manitowoc
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Can I get your signature on that top line, please? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Please raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Roger Whiteside.
I, Roger Whiteside,
Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear I'll defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of
and
Wisconsin,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully not discharge the duties
of motor pump operator for the City of
oh,
Manitowoc,
sorry,
of motor pump operator for the City of Manitowoc,
of motor pump operator for the City of Manitowoc, to
to the best of my ability,
the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can I take your signature right just on this top line, please? Thank you. Ready?
Yep.
Please raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Tyler Fisher,
I, Tyler Fisher,
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of firefighter for the City of Manitowoc
of firefighter for the City of Manitowoc
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. signature here. It's right on the top. Thank you.
Congratulations to all those. Yeah, family members, you feel free to stay if you want, but yeah, I don't blame you for leaving, I guess, but we'll give you a minute to file out here. All right, we will move on with our agenda. Those are the only presentations we have, so we'll move our 3 public hearings. First one is for the purpose of hearing any and all interested parties in the matter of a proposed conditional use permit for an adaptive reuse located at 1127 and 1133 South 16th Street. We will have the clerk read the proof of publication.
Notice of this public hearing was published in the Herald Times Reporter on June 6th and June 13th.
Thank you. Adam?
All right, this one might seem somewhat familiar. If you recall, there was a similar conditional use a year or two ago when Evergreen Partners was looking at redoing the former Santa's Best building. Unfortunately, they were unable to get to a comfort level with that project, so they stepped aside. However, now Cream Community Development LLC is pursuing a conditional use for an adaptive reuse to pretty much do the same type of project. They are looking at 80 senior affordable housing units at this facility. It would involve the Santa's Best building and then the home to the north. The home to the north would be utilized for basically property management offices and living quarters, and then additional parking would be placed there and on site. The conditions of approval as recommended by staff, which there are 11, are all pretty much the same as the previous request. So I guess I wouldn't want to spend a lot of time on it, but ultimately it went through Planning Commission and they recommended approval unanimously, and staff recommends approval as well.
Thank you, Adam. Are there any questions from the council at this time? Seeing none, this is a public hearing, so anyone from the public interested in speaking on this specific subject matter may do so at this time. Is there anyone interested in speaking on this specific subject matter? Going once, twice? We'll close this public hearing. We'll move to the next public hearing for the purpose of hearing any and all interested parties in the matter of a proposed change in zone from R6 multiple family to I2 heavy industrial for property located at the southwest corner of South 16th and Clark Streets. We'll ask the clerk to read the proof of publication.
Notice of this public hearing was published in the Herald Times Reporter on June 6th and June 13th.
Thank you. Adam?
All right, as noted, this is a zoning request from R6 to I2 heavy industrial. I think probably most people assume this was zoned industrial already since it's on the campus of Wisconsin Aluminum Foundry. However, there used to be homes on there that were purchased and either removed or relocated to actually for this very scenario of allowing them to have future room for expansion. Planning staff reviewed the comprehensive plan and the other existing uses in the area and felt this request was consistent with those. Brought it before the Planning Commission, and they recommended unanimously for approval, and staff recommends approval as well.
Any questions from the council for Adam at this time? Seeing none, then, this is a public hearing for this specific subject matter. If there's anyone interested in speaking on this matter? Anyone interested in speaking on this matter? One more time. We'll close this public hearing. We'll move to the final public hearing for the purpose of hearing any and all interested parties in the matter of proposed conditional use permit located at 5005 Vista Road for the establishment of a 20-bed community-based residential facility. We'll have the clerk read the proof of publication.
Notice of this public hearing was published in the Herald Times Reporter on June 6th and June 13th.
Thank you. Adam?
All right, this is an existing community-based residential facility with 20 beds that currently serves people with advanced age, dementia, and Alzheimer's. That facility is being closed, and it is potentially being sold to Core Treatment Services. So it would remain a community-based residential facility of 20 beds, but its mission would change to be that of what Core Treatment Services currently does at their existing facility, which was approved by the council back in 2019. This would allow them to expand their current capacity from 14 beds to 34 beds overall between the two facilities, and they have an emphasis on alcohol and drug dependency as well as mental illness. Overall, Planning Commission reviewed this as well, recommended approval subject to the 5 conditions. There was one comment received from a neighbor. They had concerns since they felt that the previous owner of the facility noted that this type of facility would never be allowed at this location, and they had concerns about security and safety of young children as it is a residential neighborhood. But ultimately, as I noted, Planning Commission did recommend approval subject to the 5 conditions. Planning staff does recommend approval as well.
Thank you, Adam. Are there any questions from the council at this time? Seeing none, then, this is a public hearing for this specific subject matter. If there's anyone interested in speaking, you may do so at this time. Anyone interested in speaking? I think someone on Zoom?
Hello,
Sure, if you could just state your name and address for the
Yeah.
record, please.
I'm Karen Katarabek. And I heard a Katarabek mentioned there. My dad is Leonard. He also lives on Vista Road. I purchased the little triangle lot that is empty right next to the facility. I guess my question is now, you're saying there already is a facility there and that Core purchased that facility and then is also building a new facility?
Adam, I'll let you answer.
Okay. Yeah, sorry if that was confusing. Core Treatment Services has an existing facility elsewhere in the city currently that has the 14 beds. They are looking at just converting this facility, which currently has 20 beds, so they are going to convert this facility to be the same as their facility, but there would not be an expansion of the facility at this time.
Okay, I think I understand. Okay, I'm looking at this photograph. It does appear to, think that a brand new facility is being built. This photograph right here. Okay, so you're saying there's no building that's going on. They're just going to use the one that is there?
That is correct.
Okay, got it. Well, I was planning to build a house on that triangle lot, and I think I have the same concern as the other neighbor. Are people going to feel uncomfortable having, individuals nearby that may be unstable?
You still have the floor, ma'am, if you want to make any more statements.
I don't know. I think not at this time, but I do appreciate, having this and letting us know that this is what's going on. So I think if others, expressed a concern, then it would be more than just myself. So.
All right. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Anyone else interested in speaking at this time for public input? Anyone else interested in speaking at this time? Adam?
Just the one thing I would like to note is we did check in with the police department and the fire department on the existing core treatment facility, because we wanted to, kind of the best example of what could happen here is what's currently happening at their current facility. There have been, since they opened, I believe, only 9 calls, all 8 of which were in actually core treatment services calling the police department for assistance. And then there was one where a resident contacted the police department, but there have been no neighbor complaints or no concerns in the neighborhood presented to the police department since they opened again about 2 years ago.
Thank you, Adam. One last call for public input on this specific subject matter. All right, I will close public input and we will move to appointments. I have one appointment this evening, and that is to the Crime Prevention Committee for Anissa Fenchel for a term. It is listed there, 2022 to 2023. I'd look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Move to the consent agenda. I'm sorry, we have regular public input to go through next. Is there anyone from the public interested in speaking on anything germane to the business of the city of Manitowoc? Anyone interested in speaking on anything germane to the business of the city of Manitowoc?
Well, I have a question that I didn't ask earlier. So this hearing today, is this a definite thing that this building is going to be built, or that this company is moving, or are people voting on it?
They'll be voting at the end of this meeting on it.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, I'm sorry, any other public input? Going once, twice? Sold. Public input is closed. Moving to the consent agenda. Any items to be removed from the consent agenda? If not, I'd look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. We will move to committee reports. Under item I, we'll start with Committee of the Whole and Council President Steve Sakala.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The clerk has our documents.
Document 545 is a resolution to approve the organizational structure of the city clerk and finance departments. Committee returned same, recommending to adopt the resolution.
What's your pleasure on this resolution?
Move to adopt the resolution, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 561 is a report of the Special Events Committee of various special events requiring council approval. Committee returned same, recommending approval of the events.
Council, your pleasure on this report.
Move to approve the events, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Anything else, Council President Sakala?
No, Mr. Mayor, that concludes our business.
Thank you. We'll then move to the Finance Committee and Alderman Jim Bry is chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The clerk has our documents.
Document 515 is the Pelion Plan Agreement and Resolution Update as required by the IRS. Committee returned same, recommending to adopt the resolution.
Council, your pleasure on this resolution.
Move for the adoption of the committee's report, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 548 is a report of the Industrial Development Corporation of Protective Covenants for the I-43 Hecker-Vebon Industrial Park. Committee returned same, recommending to create the I-43 Hecker-Vebon Protective Covenants and authorize the IDC to act as the city's agent to promote, develop, and manage the I-43 Hecker-Vebon Industrial Park per the responsibilities detailed in the bylaws of the IDC.
Council, your pleasure on this report.
Move for the adoption of the committee's report, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion.
Just quickly, Mr. Mayor, and we do have Adam here who is kind of served with, well, does serve on the IDC, but the IDC met 2 weeks ago, or was it last week? Last week, yes. Well, within the last 2 weeks. Our memories are short as we go along here, as we get older. But anyways, we went with the same parameters we did with the current industrial park. So there's going to be no changes. It's the same covenants that'll be involved. And with the IDC, we'll be the protectors, I guess, of that. So just for further information.
Thank you, Alderman Bry. Any further discussion? Seeing none, then all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Anything else, Alderman Bry?
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor, except our next meeting will be Tuesday, July 5th at 5:30 PM here in the Common Council chambers for the Finance Committee. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. We'll move to the Personnel Committee and Alderman Eric Sitkowitz is chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The clerk has the documents.
Document 479 is a request to purchase unbudgeted Affordable Care Act module in UKG for 2022. Committee returns same, recommending to approve as represented.
Council, your pleasure on this report.
Move for the adoption of the committee's report, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 549 is a resolution to approve a professional service agreement with Carlson Dettman Consulting for market measurement and pay plan management services. Committee returns same, recommending to adopt the resolution.
Council, your pleasure on this resolution.
Move for the adoption of the committee's report, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Alderman Sitkowitz.
Yeah, just a quick update on this process. So we're pulling this ahead about a year early to have numbers ready for the budget going into 2023. As we know, the labor market is extremely competitive, and we want to make sure that, one, we're compensated fairly, but also that we're competitive when we're looking to fill open positions. So the mayor asked for this to be pulled ahead. Instead of being budgeted for the study in 2023, we want to have the numbers ready for the 2023 budget.
Thank you, Alderman Sitkowitz, for that explanation. Any further discussion? Seeing none then, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Anything else, Alderman Sitkowitz?
That completes our business. Thank you.
Thank you. We will move to the Public Infrastructure Committee, and Alderman Mike Cummings is chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The clerk has your documents.
Document 488 is a donation tube request for alpaca materials. Committee returns same, recommending approval.
Council, your pleasure on this report.
To recommend to approve the use of the funds.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Alderman Cummings.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to thank Mr. Earing for the donation of the alpacas and the sale of materials for the exhibit to make it possible. I think it was very generous, and it'll be an asset to the zoo going forward.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 556 is an agreement with Bodart Electric Service to complete the traffic signal upgrade on the connecting highway intersection at South 8th and Franklin Streets. Committee returns same, recommending to enter into the agreement.
Council, your pleasure on this report.
Move to approve the agreement, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 557 is a stormwater management facility maintenance agreement with Setzer Properties, Zigbee LLC, located at the northeast quadrant of Vivon Street and South 42nd Street. Committee returns same, recommending to enter into the agreement.
Council, your pleasure on this report.
Move to approve the agreement, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Anything else, Alderman Cummings?
That does complete our business for today. Our next meeting is going to be on Wednesday, July 6th at 5:30 in the council chambers.
Thank you. There are no documents for Public Safety Committee, but anything, Alderman Schley?
There is nothing to report at this time, Mr. Mayor. However, our next meeting will be July 11th at 5:30 PM right here in the council chambers. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And we will take up our Plan Commission reports.
Document 461 is a Cream Community Development LLC request for a conditional use permit for an adaptive reuse pursuant to 15.37029, located at 1127 and 1133 South 16th Street. Plan Commission returned same, recommending approval of an adapted reuse conditional use permit to Cream City Community LLC for the establishment of an 80-unit senior living facility with conditions provided.
Council, your pleasure on this report.
Move for the adoption of the committee's report, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Alderman Bry.
Just quickly, thank you again, Mr. Mayor. I represent this area on the Common Council, and for the most part, I received no complaints. And one gentleman was concerned about parking. And that was his concern last time when this facility was being, I guess, proposed to be doing this with under the former then potential owners. But, you know, Mr. Birdler, I did talk to Mr. Birdler. He seems, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Sympathetic to that, and he will keep that in mind. And if there are problems arise, he seems very approachable. And one good thing about Mr. Birdler too, he is a Manitowoc native who grew up in this area, so he has a commitment to this area. So I will support the proc or the resolution tonight or the agreements, and we'll go forward from there. And if there's problems, I guess just let myself know or Mr. Birdler know, and we'll go forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Bry. Alderman Schley.
As a senior member of this group, I am very much in favor of this and applaud the developers, local developers, once again, for pursuing this project and providing more, better, and affordable housing for senior members of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Schley. Alderman Bolt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too am fully supportive of it. The one thing we have to watch out for, and one of my constituents, I'm relaying their concerns, is that my area coincides or directly parallels Alderman Bryce, is the parking in there. And with 80 residential units and approximately 1,000 square foot retail area, they're concerned about parking because the retail area that they talked about, possible bakery, coffee shop or salons, that would be mostly interior to those residents, but with that type of traffic flow in that area, parking is a concern to the people around there. But thank you.
Yep, thank you, Alderman Bolt. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, then all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 463 is Core Treatment Services, Inc. request for a conditional use permit located at 5005 Vista Road for the establishment of a 20-bed community-based residential facility. Plan Commission returns same, recommending approval.
Council pleasure on this report.
Move for the adoption of the committee's report, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Alder Kaderabek.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. While I can understand that some people may have concerns about where this is located, Core Treatment Services, from the people that I spoke to at their location by the hospital, I have not heard concerns, and the impact that they've had on our community, I think, has been very positive. And this is only going to help in terms of the crisis that our community is currently facing. Thank you.
Thank you. Alder Sitkowitz.
Thank you. I think it's unfortunate when we hear public comment around those individuals and when we target people and say not in my backyard type comments. I believe that when we push people away, they don't seek the treatment that they would like or need. And I think a community-based residential facility is exactly the best way to become recovered. So Chris, you do a great job at Core, and I look forward to you doing and continuing that in this property.
Thank you, Alder Sitkowitz. Alder Sakala.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to echo what Alder Sitkowitz said, a couple of years ago, it just came to mind, a couple of years ago when Chris came to us with his original concept over by Holy, Alder Sitkowitz made a comment, there's, I think, 34 CBRFs or something like that in the city, and he challenged us to name where they are, and you can't. They're model citizens. And everything that Chris has done with his group, within the city has been fantastic. And this is something that we do sorely need. Well, we really do. So I will fully support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the motion? Alder Kaderabek.
If I may say just one more, I know Chris has done good work, but I would like to also praise his co-director, Carmen, as well.
Thank you. Agreed. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 558 is an ordinance to rezone property located at the southwest corner of South 16th and Clark Streets. Plan Commission returns same, recommending to adopt the ordinance.
Council, your pleasure on this ordinance.
Move for the adoption of the ordinance, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Alder Bry.
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. Once again, this property being rezoned is located within the 4th Aldermanic District for Wisconsin Aluminum Foundry, also known as WAF, and I guess the machining circles and foundry circles around northeast Wisconsin. I've represented that area for a little bit more than 30 years, and one of my first things on the Common Council back was in 1992 was a rezone of a property for Wisconsin Aluminum Foundry. Then the neighbors were very upset. There was a lot of shaking going around by one of the machines and one of the pourers within the foundry. I didn't support it at the time, but WAF has worked through a lot of those problems. They've always been good neighbors. They've always been very responsive to concerns from myself and the neighbors. And as you can see, what happened at Plan Commission and ultimately tonight, unless there's some secret person online here, there's been no public response. It's going to go through unanimously. So thank you once again, Wisconsin Aluminum Foundry, and thank you for the neighbors. And good luck, and we'll go forward with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder Bry. Any further discussion? Seeing none, then all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 559 is a resolution to adopt the public participation plan for the update of the comprehensive plan for the city of Manitowoc. Plan Commission returned same, recommending to adopt the resolution.
Council, your pleasure on this resolution.
Move to adopt the resolution, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. Just note that next week, Tuesday, we'll have a public forum that anyone from the public, any citizen can join. That'll be next week, Tuesday, June 28th, at the Manitowoc Yacht Club down on the lake shore from 5:30 until 7:30. Cool, I got it right. So anyone from the public, any citizen is welcome to join and provide input on our update to our comprehensive plan. So any further discuss, Alderman Cummings?
Yeah, I was just, I did see that online, so, which is good, and I shared that on my page. Just a couple questions with that, in case I get more questions, and I might attend as well. But the format for that, so it's 5:30 to 7:30, does that mean you have to be there for the entire 2 hours, or is it more of just a, here's the presentation, then after the fact, like, what's that format look like for those 2 hours?
So Adam, why don't you come up and share your thoughts? Don't make it 2 hours.
Well, we could just cover it here, get it over with. No, it is a workshop, so it will be a 2-hour session. So they'll work your way through various activities and things. It will be interactive, so it won't be just sitting there and listening for 2 hours, but it is a longer time commitment.
Okay. And then is that also going to be streamed online for viewers?
This one is not. We will take notes and obviously document all the feedback that's gotten, and that will be put into a summary report, and that will be provided online. So you will be able to know what came out of that. But because it is that interactive workshop, it'd be hard for people to stay engaged, I guess, in our minds, with an online format.
Okay. That's all, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, then all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. That exhausts our agenda. Is there any other business for the council at this time? Seeing none, then I would look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We are adjourned.